When we think of the concept of worship and how we practice it and think about it in particular here in Africa, we recognize our wholeness as individuals and community. Worship is hardly ever practiced as individualized form of spirituality. One would more often hear about a worshiping community as opposed to an individual retreat to meditate. Meditation has its place, but it is not all about meditation as an individual as much as it is about participation within the corporate body of worshippers. Secondly, we remind ourselves that worship must not be seen only as long periods of silence and self-introspection. African Christian worship is in most cases within the evangelical churches focuses on audible singing, rhythm, spontaneous testimony, and witness to the current work of God in our lives. There's a presence in our relationship that we cannot forget to mention. There are audible responses to the preacher, and rhythm and dancing is part of the unifying instruments to bring people into a singular frame of mind and spirit. This kind of call for agreement, agreeability, unity is often sensed in the shouts of amens and hallelujahs and communal participation. And thirdly, we render ourselves as vessels for God's use. On the African continent, volunteerism and willingness to serve is seen as part of our worship. Offering ourselves with all our strength, our mind, our bodies to serve is an act of worship. The idea of treating others with the highest regard is an act of worship that comes from recognizing the image of God in others that makes us human. Some call it Ubuntu. Archbishop Tutu once said, "It's amazing that we are all made in God's image, and yet there is so much of diversity amongst God's people. I am a person through other people. My humanity is tied to yours." And so when we think about worship, we cannot separate it from what we do as participating in the larger body of Christ, to uplift, to engage, to inquire, to confess, and to reach out. That's how we see worship in a nutshell. Thank you.